Today I picked up 1,000 shares more in Africa Oil, and I will talk about why. It's quite frankly divided into many different reasons that build up a strong case for a good risk to reward ratio, in my opinion. And talking about share price, it has increased a lot here in the couple of months, and this is because they found potentially a large quantity of oil, although I do not think that this is reflected very well in the share price, as the company is trading cheaply here at 5.82% of price to earnings ratio. Indeed, this is also the case due to recent good earnings here with higher oil prices. However, I believe that this sector is severely underdeveloped overall, and I don't think it will be developed much in the future either. Remember, a while back I talked about ESG, what it means, and how this dictates whether or not companies get funding or not. Well, this oil sector is not rated very high in the environmental part, and thus they do not get a lot of funding for future developments. And you can see this in investments not really happening. So we've not seen a lot of development on the supply side. And this is one of the reasons why we are in this energy crisis that we are in today. We see the whole sector focusing more on dividends and share buybacks rather than doing new developments. And indeed, Africa Oil here is no exception. They're doing share buybacks, quite a large one, and they're also doing a dividend. As you can see, they have a small yield today, and in my opinion, I think this has potential to go a lot higher, especially given that they have this potentially huge finding of oil in one of their subsidiaries that could be one of the biggest ones offshore to date. So that's very interesting, even bigger than one of the ones in the South American part of the world. So it will be a interesting development, and it's a potential kicker to share price to send it even higher. We also see on the demand side, you can see the graph here of the US crude oil strategic reserve. It has been going down recently, so by almost 50%. There's been a lot of dipping into the reserve here in the recent year only, and at some point they will need to refill. There is demand, and we're just a few days away actually from enacting a embargo on Russian crude here from the European Union. So it's a complex market, to say the least. So basically we have little or no investment in exploration and development of new oil resources. And we also see on the governance side, for example, you can look at the Keystone pipeline over in the United States, where there was political support during one president to develop and open this pipeline, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared with the next president. No support anymore. This is not only the case for large pipeline projects, this is also a case for a lot of other developments, and one of the reasons I think supply will not be expanded a lot more in the future. And I mean, why would you make an investment that would take maybe 5 years to develop, and then halfway through investing a lot of capital into infrastructure and development, all of a sudden support is pulled and your project is frozen and you stand there with this massive sunk cost? No go. That's a poor business decisions, and CEOs, they recognize it. So all these factors add up to, in my opinion, a good risk to reward ratio for Africa Oil. We can see share price right now have increased a lot since the initial position I took in this company. However, I choose to invest even more now to nourish the winners basically, and invest where I think that there's a good future. We can take a quick look at financials as well for just the last quarter, so you guys can see the jump in earnings per share. You can see here diluted EPS for September 2022, 14 cents here a share, and this is quite a jump up from previous quarters. We can see some consistency in profitability as well. However, I think that this has the potential to be even better in the future if oil prices remain high, if the finding of oil outside the coast of Africa is as big as some news stories make it out to be. So this is indeed a very interesting case right now, and I will follow along and I will cheer for share price to soar, basically. That's been it for this video, talking about why I picked up 1,000 shares in this company today. And as always, I hope you make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.